Hello and what is up guys, Jack here from Ezekiel Gaming HD, and this is the first episode of a brand new series that I've come up with, and I've wanted to do this series for a little while now. It's going to put a couple of series on my channel currently on hold whilst I do this, and it's a really cool idea I think. Anyway, let me know what you think about it. So let me just cover kind of like the series idea. So on screen you can see 5 different versions of Thierry Henry. The first one, starting on the left, is his card in the game. Obviously it's got a different picture because I've put it on there, and what we're going to do in this series is take him from his 78 rated player to his 88 rated player by giving him attribute cards. Once he reaches the whole idea, or the series objective, is to score 50 goals. Once he scores 50 goals, he's going down in my books as a legend. But because he's obviously in FIFA still, he's not in he hasn't got a legend card basically. I think if he wasn't in the game, he probably would be a legend. Let me know what you think about that in the description. So as you can see, left to right, he goes 78, 81, 84, 88, and then 91. I've made a legend card of him myself, and I've given him some stats which I think are appropriate. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm also a big fan of Thierry Henry, so I could be a little bit biased. Let me know what you think his stats should be in this game. Some people might not think he's as fast, some people might think he's faster, some people might not think he's as good at dribbling. It's all down to opinions, so hopefully you don't take my opinions of his legend card too strongly. But this whole series, you're going to see him progress from a 78 rated player to an 88 rated player, and I'm going to play online games with him, and we're going to get all the way to 50 goals. So the idea of the series is after 5 goals, I'm going to start using a +3 attribute card on every single game until he reaches 15 goals. And when he gets to 15 goals, I'm going to use a +6 silver attribute card, all attribute card. And after 25 goals, I'm going to put a gold attribute card on him, which gives him +10 on every single stat. And you can see what the stats are affected on the card. You can see the 88 rated Thierry Henry, what it will look like once I get him fully upgraded basically. So without further ado, getting into the actual series with some gameplay now. You can see the team that I'm going to use Thierry Henry with, and it's just basically a lot of French players. It's going to be none other than French players, just so it's really easy with chemistry and stuff like that. I'm deciding to use the 4-3-3 formation at the moment because I feel like it's best to play if you want to score with the target man or the striker basically. I probably will change up the formation a little bit throughout the series, but here you can also see I'm just going through every single player, and you'll notice that absolutely none of the players have any games played and no goals scored, just obviously because they've had no games played. So they're all fresh, and some of them are overpaid a little bit just because I wanted them to have no games played with them. So yeah, it's going to be a really cool series. On the right, well, on the whole screen, you can see a border that's kind of very similar to my Dream Team series. Well, the background is, but I've also changed the graphics a little bit. So on the right side, you can see Thierry Henry's current status. Because he's scored no goals, I need to get to 5 goals before he gets upgraded. He's currently just sitting on his base card, or his normal card. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see when the attribute cards get unlocked. So when I score 5 goals, which could hopefully be in this episode, you'll see that the bronze gets unlocked. But getting into the first game, he's already scored, so you can see he's got 1 goal at the bottom right corner, and all we need now is another 4 goals and we can upgrade him. But this game was very short for clips because it was my first game with him. I was kind of getting used to it, and the player I played against was pretty good. But as you can see, I'm actually losing 4-1. I do get a goal back in the last minute though with Clichy, but that means nothing to this series because it wasn't Thierry Henry that scored it. So yeah, in this series I'm not going to show you any goals from the other team because it plays no impact whatsoever on this series. All I'm going to show you is clips with Thierry Henry. That's it. That's all the series is about. So that's why in that game you only saw me take a free kick with him. That was absolutely awful. And you saw me score a goal, which was in like the first 3 minutes. So 1 game played, 1 goal scored. It's an okay start. You know, I could have hoped for better. I could have got better. But at the end of the day, I could have got worse. Got absolutely nothing. So we decided after that game that we was going to change around our team a little bit in terms of the formation. I wanted to play N'Zogbia. N'Zogbia is actually a really good player. I've used him before. I think he has about 84 pace. He's got 4-star skill. He's got pretty decent shooting, but his dribbling is really good, and I thought maybe he could help to assist Thierry Henry a little bit more in the attack. And we come up against this team. I forgot to also mention that every single game I play is a single online match. It's not a seasons match. It's not a cup match. It's just a normal single player match. And we start off there with Thierry Henry trying to do some skills, some roulettes and stuff like that. He kind of gets tackled at the last man there, but we do turn it around here. Go to cross the ball into Thierry Henry and Cech there with a beautiful save. It's a very nice save. Cech's actually probably one of the better goalkeepers in this game. But here he manages to just get it out. I was trying to look for Thierry Henry desperately, trying to find where he was. It's really hard to find him. But on the edge of the box, managed to find him. And with his weak foot, with a finesse with his weak foot, managed to put it into the back of the net or the top corner. And his finesse shots are really, really good. And in this game, I think the reason why is obviously because he has the finesse shot trait. But anyway, this bit here, he manages to very cheeky goal right at the back of the box or the back of the back post. Manages to slip one in, and that's 2 goals now in this game. So we've taken up to 2 games played, 3 goals scored. Here I was desperately trying to find Thierry Henry. Sometimes I find him sinking back. You can see he was in midfield. He kind of swapped around with Nzogbia, go to take a shot, and it wasn't good enough. So what we're aiming for is by the end of this series, you know, he's going to be so overpowered. Hopefully, he should have 88 shooting. Shots like that should be pretty powerful and have a good chance of scoring. But this game comes to an end. As you can see here, I scored 2 goals with him in that game. Also scored a goal with Nzogbia, which was, yeah, it's kind of weird because Nzogbia kept trying to switch with Thierry Henry. They was always switching. But we go into the team again to change things around. And you can see there, again, I'm showing you 2 games played and 3 goals scored. So, also in this series, I forgot to mention, I will be doing giveaways. So, I'll be doing questions based on for these giveaways. So let's say, for example, at the end of this episode, I'll say how many goals did I score with Thierry Henry with his head in this episode. To do that, or I will be doing that through my Twitter. So if you want to take part in it, all you've got to do is follow me on Twitter, and about 15 to 30 minutes after an episode that I've uploaded, I will post a tweet saying whoever tells me how many goals Thierry Henry scored with his left foot in this episode will win 50,000 coins or 100,000 coins or something like that. So it's going to be a little bit more interesting for you, and you can watch the game a little bit more closely, and hopefully it's a little bit more enjoyable for you. We start off this episode by trying to cross it into Thierry Henry. This kind of clip here was a little bit of a mess, bits going everywhere, you know, with people shooting. I was trying to get it into Thierry Henry. There's no point taking a shot of anyone else apart from Thierry Henry, really, unless I'm losing and I'm trying to get some extra time in the game. But here, you can see I pass it to Thierry Henry, puts it out to Bibiani, and I start running into the box, and he brings a defender to me, and it's a pretty easy finish there for Thierry Henry. Most of his goals so far have been with his head, but everybody knows FIFA 14 is very, very biased towards heading. It's very simple to score with someone's head, or the head basically. And but here you can see I would have shot with that white guy. I forgot his name, but I passed it up to Thierry Henry, and he finessed it again into the back of the net. Very nice finesse shot there, taking us up to 5 goals, which now means, guys, that I can use bronze attribute cards, or I will be using a bronze attribute card on him every single game. So he's going to be an 81 rated overall technically after this. But Mangala scores here, so it doesn't go on to his total goals scored. Sometimes it's hard for me to actually tell which player is Thierry Henry. I know it sounds a little bit kind of racist, but I've got quite a lot of black people around the same kind of height, and it's hard to tell sometimes which one is Thierry Henry. But 90th minute, the game was, I was losing 3-4, and he manages to score there, and also it went to penalties after that, but where Thierry Henry scored a penalty, so that's why it showed up as 4 goals on the scoreboard. But that is the end of this episode. We have scored 6 goals, and out of those, we have scored those goals in 3 games. So it's been a pretty successful episode. If you enjoy this series or you enjoy this episode, make sure you hit that like button. I'm aiming for hopefully 500 likes at least, but obviously any more is greatly appreciated. So yeah, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my channel if you're watching this and you're not a subscriber of mine, and I guess I will see you guys later. Bye.